What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. You already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, man, listen, I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and your desktops, and you're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture, man. You are in the right place, guys. If you want to support the channel, you see the Cash App. If you need to get over masturbation, man, listen, get the book and a donation of any amount, bro, to the Cash App. I'm gonna send you that book. Keyboards, laptops, and desktops. Let's get into this video, man. Unequally yoked. I don't think I've ever done a video on this. And I got 460 videos up. This is 461. All praise be to the Most High God, man. I'm excited about this one today because I really believe it's going to prevent some people from continuing on in relationships that they know they shouldn't continue in. It might help some people break away or avoid certain traps, because a lot of times we are driven by our own desires, our own lust, our own things that we have going on that we want to see in somebody else, or whatever voice we feel like we have in our lives. We want to people we see have certain things that we want, and even if they're not on the same trajectory we're on, we still try to rationalize and make up in our mind why this could potentially work. And it can't work. It just can't. So we're going to talk about 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. And it says, Do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what does righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? When you guys are courting, dating, you're trying to enter into a relationship, it's going to be very hard for you to be successful in what you're doing, your Christian endeavors, if you're yoked with an unbeliever. Now, this imagery or this parallel comes from primitive times, where you would take two oxen and you would yoke them together. So their heads would go into this wooden yoke. You have one ox on this side, another ox on this side, one to the right, one to the left, and the ox are supposed to work together. And if the ox were unequally yoked, it would make for basically an impossible task. If you had one stronger ox and a weaker ox, if you had a taller ox and a shorter ox, what would end up happening is the ox would be going in circles. They wouldn't be able to complete the task. So they're turning in a circular motion, and they're just going around and around and around and around in a circle. Why? Because they're unequally yoked. So Paul uses this analogy to stress to believers, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, because it is going to impede on your ability to be able to do what it is God has called you to do. It's going to make your life more stressful because you guys don't have the same axiom. You don't have the same foundation. Your axiom is Christ. Their axiom is the world. You have different worldviews. You can see this in relationships now. One person's a Republican, one person's a Democrat. One person believes in abortion, another person doesn't. They're unequally yoked. And so that tension and that friction usually leads to divorce, or usually leads to one person being hurt because they are unequally yoked. Right? So when you are courting, when you are trying to engage a woman, or you're trying to engage a man, for the women, you got to make sure that the person you are interested in is going the same way you're going spiritually, because if not, this is unequally yoked. What fellowship does light have with darkness? Their father is the devil, and your father is God. Now, it doesn't mean that these people are devout devil worshipers. What it means is that their desires are for the flesh, not the spirit. Your desires are for the spirit. So you are trying to, enter the narrow path. because that's the way that leads to life. But your partner, they're on the Broadway, right? And they can influence you to compromise. Oh, you're too spiritual. Oh, you're too over the top. This and that, right? And then you find yourself compromising, or you are standing on business, and the relationship from a friendship level can't endure. Why? Because they're looking at you as a taskmaster. They're looking at you as someone who is opposed to them. They're looking at you as someone who is judging them, when in reality, you are just following Christ. You're following Christ. And it's not you who are judging them. It's your conduct, your beliefs, your thought process, your faith that is causing them to be condemned or convicted, which is creating the friction. So it's very important, guys, that you do not allow your own lust to impede on your ability to pick out a suitable mate, suitable spouse, right? They may be funny, and you want someone who's funny, but they're, and then you start compromising and saying things like, I'll pray for them, or I'll fast for them, or I'll lay down my life, and you start rationalizing why you can make this work. But the Bible is clear. You do not want to be unequally yoked with unbelievers, especially in regards to marriage, because it's going to be very, very difficult. Okay, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. If God is not your Lord, because people profess with their mouths, but that Jesus is Lord over their lives. But when you look at their lives and their conduct, it's clear that Christ is not Lord over their lives. Though they profess him with the lips, they deny him with their actions. Okay? You're going to be wanting to go to church. You're going to be wanting to, pray and fast, and you're not going to want to listen to all the ungodly music. You're not going to watch. You don't want to watch all the wicked movies. You don't want to be out clubbing. You don't want to be out doing any of that, right? Your fun is in Christ. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that your life is boring, because it's not. It's just that you're not with the debauchery. You're not with the world in a handbasket going to hell. But they're okay with that. They want to go to the secular concerts. They want to do all the secular things. They want to drink and get drunk and be buzzed and do all these different type of things, and then think they can turn around and pray and be holy and be spiritual and expect to receive from God. It just doesn't work like that. And this type of union is going to cause friction, because you guys have two different masters. It's going to cause your endeavors to go in circles. You're not going to be able to go straight, because the oxen are uneven. They're not equally yoked. You need two like-minded people in regards to spirituality to go in a forward direction. So I hope this video encourages you. I hope you examine your relationships that you have going on right now. And I hope this prevents you from entangling yourself with someone who is not pursuing Christ. God is going to give you someone who is a perfect match for you, someone that you're going to find physically attractive, and someone who's going to have those things that you're lacking in regards to your character, so that you can have a complete complement, right? And then you guys can work on building together. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I really want to hear what your thoughts are. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, and we could do that if you guys share the videos, share the content, man. I appreciate the prayers. And I also want to say this last thing, man. I'm proud of you guys. I see you guys pressing in. I see you guys fasting. I hear you about your fasting, and you're praying, and you're turning away from sin. God bless you, man. I'm proud of you. Continue to fight the good fight, and God is going to reward you. Peace.